Crown Zenith was released at the end of the Sword and Shield era, and it only makes sense that with the increased value of other Sword and Shield sets and alternate arts, that the Crown Zenith and Galarian Gallery were soon to follow. So in today's video, let's take a look at Crown Zenith and the top 10 singles going into summer 2024. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. As mentioned, today we're talking about Crown Zenith, the ultimate cap to the Sword and Shield era. This set is amazing and the Galarian Gallery is full of awesome singles. It really was the best way to cap off the Sword and Shield era. So to start off, let's get right into the Elite Trainer boxes. We'll go over the sealed value and then dive into the singles a little bit. So the ETBs, as of this last week, they're kind of starting to spike up. I know a lot of people have made videos talking about Crown Zenith over the last couple of weeks, and I think in turn that's going to help see the raising values of this set, but as well as with the alternate arts getting to unreachable highs for some collectors, they're going to start focusing on what's the next best thing. You know, Trainer Gallery, Crown Zenith, SIRs, you name it. So the Crown Zenith ETB, you know, its 1 year high was $65. This was before the massive reprints back at, I guess fall of last year, getting ready for Black Friday. It dropped down to like 38 bucks. I know people were finding this for, even cheaper than 35. I'm sure there were great TikTok shop deals down there in the United States. Here in Canada, I haven't really seen them below $50. Right now, they're getting harder to find. You can still find them in stock for $65, 60 some places if you're lucky, but a lot of places are kind of sold out on these. I don't know, there could still be a reprint. We'll have to see what hits the market, but these ETBs right now, they've kind of slowly climbed back up. They're at $45. I don't think they'll stay here too long. I'm sure these will start climbing up. As I mentioned, this is an awesome set, one of the best sets from Sword and Shield era. It kind of summarizes everything that era had to offer into one set, and it's a really fun set to open. I think long term people are going to be cracking this and wanting to crack it, in 5 to 10 years. I think this will just continue to climb over time once everyone is done with alternate arts and focusing on the next best set. I wanted to also dive into the booster bundle for a second. Booster bundles right now sitting at $30, $50. They've been climbing. They were at a low of 23 bucks. Here in Canada, you could only get these at Walmart. I don't think I've seen anyone else sell them. The cheapest I ever saw them for was during the Black Friday deal for about $23.50. Again, great set. These are going to climb over time. I think this is what people will want to crack. It was the first holiday set with booster bundles. They're kind of that weird square shape, not the little deck box like the build and battle kits. Not a cool display piece by any means. It just has the pack art kind of stretched out really big on it, but ideal for opening over time. If you don't want to open a whole bunch of ETBs and get all that leftover junk, you're going for booster bundles. I think these are a great one to sit on long term. All right, next up, let's hop into the singles. Coming in at number 10, you got the Raikou from the Galarian Gallery. This card is awesome. It's my favorite of the three dogs. They're all in the list here, 10, 9, and 8. Going to the legendary dogs or legendary beasts, I guess. I don't know if it's still undecided if they're cats or dogs. But this card, you're going to see a pattern over this. It has seen drastic movement over the last couple of weeks. It went from $15 to $24 pretty well overnight, since April, basically. This is a great one. Does it deserve the top 10? I think so. Awesome artwork, and it seems to be consistently selling at about 22 to 25 bucks. Will it grow anymore? I don't really think so right now. Like I just said, Crown Zenith is pretty widely available. It's getting a bit harder to find, but it's still out there. If you have these cards and you want to sell them, now might be a good time. Will it go up in the future? Probably, but it might not be for a long while. So Raikou V coming in at number 10, pretty solid. I don't really see it climbing much more. I don't think it'll go any higher than, 8 on this list, but it could in the future. Next up, we have Entei V, another awesome card. This card is actually not even at a 1 year high. It had a crazy spike back in like November of last year for $32 almost. I don't know what it paired up with, but in the competitive scene, it saw some play. People thought it was going to be really good. Even the Brilliant Stars Entei V, just the ultra rare, was going for like 15 or 20 bucks. So this card was like really expensive for a second, then dropped in price. It slowly climbed up from 14 to 25. Again, just like the Raikou, I don't see this climbing up too much higher. Will it ever be like 50 bucks? Maybe, down the line. It is a tougher card to pull. Is it everyone's favorite from the legendary beasts? I'm not too sure. To be honest, I think Suicune and Raikou are better. This is my least favorite. The only one I've pulled multiples of as well. But 25 bucks, I think is a solid price. Obviously, it's quite a bit higher. It grew $10 in the matter of a couple weeks. But for now, I think it's going to kind of stay still around the $25 mark until we see the sealed products start rising. All right, next up at number 8, we have the Suicune. This one's awesome, and it saw incredible price growth. It doubled in price pretty much from $16 to $30 over the course of a week or two. This card's looking great. A lot of these have kind of like stayed still for this week. They popped off right at the end of April going into May. And since, maybe the 17th, they've kind of been steady at the price that they are at. There are some sold listings here on TCG Player for $35. Will this card go up? Again, just like the Entei, I think if the sealed product gets a little more expensive, the singles will start going up more. But for now, I think this is going to be steady at about $30 to $35. Could it go to $40? Yeah, but will that be anytime soon? I don't know. I think 30 to 35 is going to be a good going rate for this card because there are better ones to keep an eye out for, as you'll see as the list continues. All right, number 7 is a big one. This is kind of what got a lot of people talking about Crown Zenith, I think. And that's the Glaceon V from the Galarian Gallery. This card blew up in value. It went from $18 to $42. That's insane. $18 to $42 in a couple of weeks. Awesome looking card. Definitely slept on. These evolutions were going for under $20 consistently, pretty much since release. Once kind of the market was flooded with these, it didn't go up at all. But of course, with the demand for the evolution alternate arts, it was bound to happen that these would go up. Even those like Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Flareon promo boxes, those cards are going for a pretty penny right now. So it only makes sense that these were going to follow. The Glaceon is backed off a bit from $42 to $38. I was hoping to pick these up. I've kind of been slacking on some of these singles. I thought the Trainer Gallery would have more time before we saw that big increase. I thought the Galarian Gallery would have more time. But when you look back at it, we're over a year out from this set, and as time goes on, it's only going to go up in value. A lot of these cards is kind of like, I don't know how much they're going to drop. It might be something that you want to keep an eye out on and get it when you can, especially if you see it for a good deal. I'm not going to be picking up this card right now at this price. I want to wait and see if it drops anymore. If I miss out on it, it is what it is. I might trade something up and try to pick it up eventually. But for now, at $38, it's staying at number 7. And it's staying out of my collection. Next up, we have Glaceon's counterpart, the Leafeon. This card, same sort of growth pattern. It went from $20 to $45. Same, all this happened within that same week or two. There's got to be some sort of market manipulation or buyouts going on right now. Somebody looked at the Leafeon and the Glaceon and was like, nah, these are not $20 cards. Let me buy hundreds of them. We'll sell them for more. And to be fair, they were undervalued. This card is amazing. I like it more than the Glaceon, to be honest. I really wanted to pick this guy up. And again, unfortunately, I didn't pull any of these cards. I opened a lot of Crown Zenith. I didn't get Leafeon. I didn't get any gold cards, Glaceon. So right now, I'm feeling the FOMO a little bit on them. Will these cards drop anymore? Again, I don't know. As the alternate arts continue to grow, the Moonbreon, I thought would slow down long ago. It's going for over $1,000 or around $1,000 pretty consistently raw right now, which is absolutely ridiculous for a card that's only a couple years old. But that proves to show that the demand is there, especially for the evolutions. If you're going to print an awesome evolution card, it's going to go for good money. I can't wait to see what they do in the Scarlet and Violet era, if they're going to do some sort of evolution set. We just had the EVIR come out in Twilight Masquerade. We'll have to see where that kind of sits in value. If they do some sort of set with every evolution SIR, it's going to be hectic. Those cards are going to be worth money right off the bat just because of the alternate arts. I'd imagine that would affect the alternate art prices, but we'll have to see. I don't know if that's something Pokemon would do. There's easy money to be made in the evolution game if they want to, and that shows with this card. Going from $20 to $45, I think they're going to climb. I could see Glaceon and Leafeon sitting above $50 sooner than later, and potentially going up towards $100. I don't think that's going to happen, definitely not within the calendar year. Could it happen next year? Possibly, if the market keeps going the way it's going. All right, next up, we're switching gears a bit. We're going into the gold cards. The weakest of the 4 is the Palkia, but only by a little bit. It's going for $62.32. Pretty sweet card. I think these cards are awesome. It's the best they've done for gold cards yet. I don't know if they can really top it. I mean, if they wanted to do like SIR version of a gold card, kind of like this is, they totally could, and I think it would be a hit. $62 right now. It was going for as low as 33 over the last year. So it's climbed up 30 bucks in value. Will it maintain? Most likely. It could continue to climb. We'll just have to wait and see over the next few weeks. Now, next up, ahead by just a little bit, is the Dialga, $63. It's only got like $1 lead, so these cards are kind of interchangeable, and I'm sure we'll see them kind of fighting for that 4th and 5th spot here. This card has seen more of a steady climb in value. I think it's because Dialga has been relatively playable. I don't know if it's played too much. I don't pay like close attention to the competitive scene, but I go to leagues here and there, and I do hear people talking about Dialga. I've seen people playing Dialga pretty consistently, at least last year back in 2023. So it kind of started growing back in January slowly and has made its way up from $35 to $63. Again, I think it'll level out for a little bit and grow. All these cards though, I think once the sealed product starts going up, like when the ETB goes up like 10 more bucks, I think everything else will start climbing another like 10, 15%. It's just a matter of supply and demand right now, you know. As it gets harder to get the sealed product, people are going to be more inclined to buy and sell singles, and in turn we'll see some of these grow. Next up, number 3 is my favorite card from the whole set, and that's the Mewtwo. Love this card, Mewtwo V-Star. You know, this card right now going for $70. Pretty big hitter. When I pulled this, I think it was a lot less. Yeah, it was like 50 bucks. It hit a low this year of 43 and has climbed to 70. Great card. I think it's a really strong one. It's kind of the counterpart to that Charizard from the Ultra Premium collection. And honestly, I think this card has room to grow. Could I see this hitting $100? I could. I don't think it would be, you know, soon, but eventually I think it will. It's an awesome card. Mewtwo cards always seem to hold value over time. I don't know if the Pokemon Go Mewtwo will. You know, it's a little bit wonky. It's from a set that not a lot of people liked, and it's not that expensive of a card. This card, on the other hand, amazing card. It doesn't scream Pokemon Go like the other one does, and I think it has potential to go far long term. Will it be number 1 on this set? I think it could. Honestly, I think it could grow past the gold cards. Even though they're harder to pull, I think this Mewtwo is like by far the nicest card in the entire set. Alright, number 2, we've got the gold Arceus card. This is my favorite of the gold cards. Honestly, I really like it. Standing up on top of that volcano. It's got some really good symmetry. You know, everything kind of swirls around Arceus, makes Arceus really stand out as the forefront of the artwork. Again, incredible price growth over the last couple of weeks. It's managed to go from 57 bucks all the way up to 95. I think this card is on its way to crack 100. It's sold kind of all over the place. I'm seeing copies selling from 88 bucks, 93 bucks, 55 bucks, all over the place. Again, I think it'll sit for a little while. This card is pretty competitive. You know, Arceus has played a lot, but I don't know if anyone's going to be choosing this one. I think a lot of people will just go for that V from Brilliant Stars. But this card, amazing artwork, you know. I feel like it's kind of going to be an iconic one. I think all 4 of these gold cards, people are going to want it as a collection, which I think will raise the value of the other 2. But Arceus, you know, sitting strong at number 2. Will it climb to number 1? I don't know. You know, number 1 is a Giratina card. Everyone loves their Giratinas. But this will sit strong in the top 3 long term. All right, and our final card, the big hit, the main card from such an iconic set, Crown Zenith. We've got the gold Giratina. Did anyone think otherwise? You know, Giratina is a strong card. Everyone loves the Giratina alternate art. And you know, this card is almost just as good as that alternate art. Again, like I just mentioned, I think people will want all 4 cards together to display. You're going to need this one to sit below the Arceus. So Giratina V-Star going for $130 right now. Significantly more than Arceus. You know, Arceus not even hitting 100 yet. You got Giratina climbing up there steadily. It hasn't really slowed down either. I don't know if this card will crack 150 bucks, but it very well could. I mean, it's gone from a 1-year low of $67 all the way up to $130, so it's almost doubled from its 1-year low. And again, I'm seeing sales kind of all over the place. I saw there's a sale here today for $200 on TCG Player. You got sales as low as $95, but you have a lot of sales around that $150 mark. I can see this card just continuing to grow right now. I don't think it'll be consistently selling above $150. In fact, if it hits $150, I think it'll back off a little bit in a few weeks. Once this like Crown Zenith kind of bubble has popped a little bit, it. Again, sealed product is still out there, so I don't think the singles can really sustain being too high if you can just go crack a bunch of packs and try to get it yourselves. You know, you can buy 3 ETBs for the price of this card. Are you going to pull it in one of those 3 ETBs? Probably not, but you might pull other Galarian Gallery cards that equal the same value. But yeah, Giratina staying at number 1. It's going to be at number 1 for a while. I don't think Mewtwo or Arceus is going to catch up to it right now. In the future, though, you never know. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Just a little rundown on the best cards inside of Crown Zenith. One of the best sets I think we've ever seen in Pokemon. You know, again, it's a great way to cap off the Sword and Shield era. You took the alternate arts and kind of threw them in here as a subset with the Galarian Gallery. I feel like it's the best of alternate arts and trainer galleries combined into one little tiny set within a set. You know, even the main set, you've got that Radiant Charizard, you've got the Pikachu secret rare, but the Galarian Gallery is really where you're going to be focusing. Leave a comment below, let me know what your favorite card from Crown Zenith is, and if it's in this top 10 list. Alright, as always, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.